Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Alice. I go by Hello Alice here on YouTube and I make art videos. And I'm back today with my November bullet journal setup, which I'm super excited for. I have really gotten back into bullet journaling over the last few weeks, and so I'm super excited for my November one. I loved my October one. If you haven't seen that, I will link it, so make sure you go check it out as soon as you're finished with this video. But this is my November bullet journal setup, and my theme for this month is old books, which I'm super excited for. I wanted to do something with warm browns, reds, purples, and kind of fall-y colors, but I also wanted to use that technique that I used in my previous video where I used markers and added water to create sort of a watercolor effect. So that's what I did to create the background and the beginning of this title page, and that's what you're seeing right now. I also added in some red ink to create this sort of leathery look. So the title page is basically a book cover, and that is kind of how I created that. And then I wrote Tales of November. I used a lot of gold ink and the Fine Tech gold metallic paints. And then I put a little calendar in the center. I was thinking it was like a gold plaque. And then I also decorated it with some like kind of filigree designs and wrote Hello Alice at the bottom, like it's like my author name or something like that. So I'm super excited about this theme, and I hope that you guys will like it as well. While I finish setting up the title page, I want to talk a little bit about how this bullet journal is different from some of the previous bullet journals I have done, which you'll see in the next page. Basically, the way that I have changed my bullet journal over the last month is I've been using my digital calendar, I think it's Outlook, to plan a lot of my events and to look at the big picture stuff. And I've been using my bullet journal more on a daily basis for my to-dos, the minute details, and I've also been using it as a diary. So I've been writing little thoughts and sticking things in and doing that kind of as I go. So I've actually been setting up each daily page kind of as I go, and it's been very free-flowing and it's been really fun. I've really enjoyed it, so I wanted to work with that. So I decided to change my bullet journal setup a little bit this month. It's still really similar to what you've seen, but there's much less of a focus on planning and events and more of a focus on tracking, habit tracking, and personal goals, and less of a focus on time management, and I'm using it more for a to-do tracker and habit tracker, and more of my calendar events are in my computer, but they are still all in my bullet journal. There's just less of a focus on that, as you'll see. So hopefully that's okay. We do have 10 months of completely normal bullet journal setups if that's what you want, but it's still pretty similar. It's just, as you can see on this page, my calendar page has gotten very small. All I have done is set up a mini calendar in the top corner, and then I've left some space underneath where I can write all of the big events just so that I kind of have an idea of what is going on, and then the rest of the page I set up for my goals. So again, I used that technique where I used the markers. These are just water-based Crayola markers. I also used the Ohuhu color markers and the Tombow brush markers like I usually do to set up those colored backgrounds, and I added in some gold ink as well for some extra shimmer, and I thought that was like a really pretty, just kind of subtle background to add. And then I used my not great hand lettering skills to write in goals, and I decided to have 3 goals for the month of November. I haven't fully decided what they're going to be, but I drew 3 little books, and then I figure I can write the goals basically as like titles of the books. And this is just a way for me to kind of remember some focuses for the month of November, like things that I want to focus on or keep in mind, or little things that I want to do, like go to a pumpkin patch or something like that. I think that was one in October, which I haven't done, which is kind of sad, but that's okay. So those are my goals, my goal page, and then just to finish them off and make them pop, I added some kind of gold pen around, and these are some like metallic gold pens that I got from Amazon, and I do have a video testing these pens along with some other things that I got at the same time, which I will link if you're interested. And then I added a thick black outline to finish it off. The next page is my moods page, which I'm really excited about. Continuing with the book theme, I decided to make each day a book, and I just decided to do a giant stack of a bunch of books, 30 books, because November has 30 days, so each book is a day, and then I will color each book in with the color that matches the day. So pretty simple, but I really liked how the layout worked. And then I went again in with the marker outlined it and then just threw water on there. I am just loving this technique. I used it all in October. It was super easy because basically in my pencil case, I just put in a water brush and carried that around with my Crayola markers. So I was able to like create these watercolor effects all month really easily on the go, and they dried really quickly. So I would just like make a, you know, like a thing of color and then add water and then just go from there. And it was really simple and easy. I did have a little bit of a struggle trying to figure out what colors were going to go with which books, so that took me a little bit of time to figure out, but I think it worked out okay, and I added a little bit of water to the drops just to soften them out as well and make them a little bit more of a watercolor effect so that they matched the rest of the spread. So I'm really excited to get started on filling this one out. I've done really well with my mood tracker, keeping up with it in October, so I'm hoping that I'll keep up with it again in November so I can see what this all looks like with all of the books filled in, because I think it's going to look really pretty when it's finished. The next page is my big trackers page, and I kind of have this split up into certain different sections, just kind of based on convenience, I guess. So this first page that I'm working on, I guess they're kind of habits. They're things that I'd like to do every day and just kind of goals that I want to keep in mind and habits that I want to get into. So I decided to do a big wooden bookcase, and then each day is a book. The best way for me to fit them all in was to have it so the books were like stacked like flat. But again, going with the books theme, I thought this would look really, really cool when it's all done. And the habits that I'm currently tracking are bullet journaling, taking my medication, not eating out, Desi time, which basically is taking her on a walk or playing with her or just spending some quality time with her, which I like to do every single day. And then also checking and replying to my emails, which I'm extremely, extremely bad at. So I really need to track those. For the bookcase, I just colored it in with markers, added in some wood grain, and then added in just some water on top. Like I said, I'm just obsessed with this. I feel like it just makes everything look a little bit more complex and interesting and intentional. I don't know. And I like how it softens everything out. So I thought about handwriting out all of the numbers in like how I did before, so they would look like book titles, but that just seemed like way too much work for a habit tracker. So I just went ahead with the numbers, and that is my first habit tracker. The next page has a bunch of different habit trackers and chore trackers, and I changed up a couple of the ways that I did this. Yoga used to be one of my habit trackers over on the left, but since I don't do yoga daily yet, although I would like to establish a daily home practice, I decided to do something that I have done in the past but never followed through. Basically, I just have a small little mini calendar, and then I can note the days that I went to yoga, and then I have a little note section in the right where I can maybe write the classes that I went to and write dates down so I can kind of see them there as well. So that way I should be able to at a glance see, okay, did I last go to yoga 5 days ago or 2 days ago? Down at the bottom, I have some more trackers. I have a similar concept with my chores tracker. I have a mini calendar, and then I have all of the chores written below, and I decided to assign each chore a color, and then I can just use those colors to mark off on the calendar so I can be like, oh, this is blue, like art room is blue or whatever, and then I can see, oh, I did a blue dot 2 days ago, so I cleaned the art room 2 days ago. That makes sense. That's how I'm using it to track my chores, because I just kind of need to see when was the last time I really did like a deep clean of this room or something like that. And then I have those final little chores that I do also every single day, like make my bed, tidy, dishes, and just cleaning for 20 minutes, and those just are all under there with the numbers. I also did mess up on the chores, the art room, bedroom, living room, that one, so I went over it and just cut out a piece of index card and glued that on, redid it, added a little drop shadow, and then some washi tape to make it colorful and pretty. So if you make mistakes, it's always easy to fix them. I also made a mistake in this one. This is my last page. This is my weekly setup, and you're only going to see the setup for one day because I set up one day at a time, but they will all kind of look like this. And this is for Thursday, which is the first day of the first week of November, and I just did a really, really simple header, as you saw, and then I wanted to do a mini calendar so I could note the week that this was at, like which week we're at, and kind of write any big events just kind of in the corner, but I totally messed up and I put 8 days on 1 week, so I put some washi tape over the top and moved the mini calendar down to the corner instead, and I'll put events underneath that. So that is my final bullet journal setup for the month of November. I'm really, really excited about this setup. I love the sparkly gold. I think it's so pretty. I love reading and I love books, so I'm super excited about it. I hope that you guys liked it. I hope that you liked hearing about the changes that I'm making in my bullet journal. Don't forget to check out my other bullet journal videos. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Come join the Wonderland fam today. We would be super, super happy to have you. And if you did follow any of these instructions or you made your own version of this, please post it on Instagram or social media and tag me in it. I would love to see it. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, have a great rest of your day. Bye guys!